Hello there, welcome to Owain Talks Business with. Today I'm fortunate to talk to Sean Banning, and he's gone self-employed, leaving the corporate world behind him, and now, after being a business coach, is starting off as a health coach, and his business is called Energy to Enjoy Life. Thank you, Sean.
And welcome for that introduction.
So, okay, you've agreed to answer a few questions for me, and I really appreciate that. So, the first question we've got, why did you go self-employed?
Well, I'll keep it fairly brief, but it's a bit of an interesting situation. I ended up finding myself, I worked in HR, I was working in a food processing factory, and I was in a situation where my position was untenable. And I left that business, or my contract was terminated, shall we say. So what I think has been one of my biggest lessons is you can't always control what happens to you, but you can take responsibility of how you deal with it. So when I look back, although it wasn't a pleasant experience at the time, it was one of the best things that happened, because I've been thinking about starting a business for some time. When I left the Air Force, where I spent 24 years of my time in the Air Force as a physical training instructor, I left, and my passion and background have always been people and performance. So I transitioned into HR, and the situation I found myself in just gave me some headspace. It's time to pause and reflect on what did I actually want to do next. So it was a really good time to think about starting my own business, and around the people and performance, coaching seemed to be a sort of natural progression. And just to, I suppose, re-emphasise, the key thing for me is you don't have to wait till you end up in a situation which is not necessarily pleasant to make that step. So I guess if anyone's thinking of starting a business, one of the challenges can be the fact that you can find yourself in a comfortable position. And I was. And I know that if that I hadn't have gone through that situation, I would have probably stayed in that environment because it was comfortable, it's predictable, and it allowed me a certain lifestyle. And I think that's a good thing in one respect, but can be a downside because it can inhibit you making that step into starting your business.
Okay, the next question, which leads on really from what you've just answered there, what lessons have you learned from being a business coach?
The main area that I focused on as a business coach, I suppose in terms of the niche, was helping people overcome procrastination, which is really ironic and pertinent at the same time, because as I mentioned, I think I procrastinated for several years because I was comfortable. It was, what I found is the two biggest factors that can influence somebody from procrastinating and not taking action is fear and doubt. It's this, what if, the worry, trying to create a future that's not happened based on sometimes worst case scenario. And that can cause paralysis and to sustain that situation. What I have learned as a business coach is often on the surface, businesses and business owners, particularly when I work with them one-to-one, are very successful. And it's not about tactics and strategies, it's around mindset. It's being able to manage our emotions, our thoughts, our feelings when we're not having good days, that we can still go out there and carry out the action in spite of not feeling on top of our game. So the mindset is crucial. So I would encourage anyone that maybe doesn't have a mentor or a coach to invest in one, because actually that can be one of the quickest ways to take your business to the next level.
Brilliant, thank you. And finally, what advice would you give to a business owner who might be struggling with their personal and business balance of life in the personal business?
Okay, really good question, because I think this is always a bit of a challenge. It feels like, well, I can either have my business that's doing well, but I'm going to sacrifice my personal life, and it can't be both. So, interestingly, what I found was, as I work with more business owners, often their goals were around and targets around business growth, increase revenue, increase sales. But what I saw time and time again was that their health would be neglected, often because of time. Everything was into the business and the health would be neglected. And actually, when we spend a little bit of time just addressing some of their improvements around health, their business flourished. Because I believe that the business owner, their health is really important, but it's about their energy. So it's not about improving health so you can have a six-pack and look good in your Speedos, like obviously you do when you go on your holidays. It's about bringing more energy to your business, but to all areas of your life. So when you make some small adjustments, which are really easy to implement, then your relationships within your business are more productive, you're more creative, you're more focused. But then when you come home, you're more engaged and present with your wife, your partner, with your children. You find that at the weekends, you're not just almost trying to recharge your batteries to get onto that treadmill again on the Monday morning. So the benefits are massive, because at the end of the day, success isn't having a highly profitable business and coming home to an empty house where that marriage, that relationship has fallen apart, and the relationship with the kids. So I think that's really important. And what I found as I've moved more into the health coaching is that people think, I just haven't got time as it is. How on earth am I going to get time to improve my health and go into the gym and all the other things? It doesn't have to involve that. People can make some small incremental changes which will give them big returns, which will allow them to bring their A game, to be their energy at the optimal level, to perform well in all areas of their life. So if I summarise the answer is, when they're struggling for balance, one thing I do is I diarise everything. Not just business, but actually time with family, time for me to do things that are important for me. By putting it into a diary or a calendar, it's more likely it's going to happen. Whereas I think what I found personally is we sometimes fit our family and personal life, we sacrifice that fits around, if we can, at the end of the business day, and actually put that in as part of your business day, and it will happen.
Thank you very much, Sean. Really interesting.
Thank you.
Now, if you would like to take part in Owain Talks Business, please get in touch. Thank you very much. Bye.